The Chicago Bears just fired back at the competition big time. And I think the Chicago Bears just leveled the playing field on this head coaching search with just one single phone call. And so everybody knows by now the Las Vegas Raiders and Tom Brady, they are pushing so hard to make Ben Johnson their next head coach. But the Bears just made a move that initially looks meaningless, but I think it just made all the difference. And this is about a phone call made to the Pittsburgh Steelers inquiring about a potential trade for Mike Tomlin. The Steelers said no. So what does this have to do with their pursuit of Ben Johnson? How does it move things forward with him? And the Bears called. The answer was a fast nope. The Bears moved on. But this is a message sent. The Bears are willing to spend big on the coaching position. You don't ask the Steelers about swinging this trade unless you are willing to pay the salary he's currently getting. And I think gone is the purse clutching by ownership. Maybe this will be a different result and they'll take the big swing for once. And I think definitely, too, it sends a message to NFL agents that the Bears are willing to do what it takes to land Ben Johnson and that money is no longer a consideration. They just checked the final box. So if you listen to rumors, they continue to persist that the Raiders have unofficially offered a contract to Johnson for huge money. The Bears are legendarily cheap, right? That ends now in Warren saying that the purse strings of the McCaskies have been loosened. It's definitely going to happen now, and the Bears are fully in play for landing Ben Johnson. So let's think about this. All the buzz about Johnson going to the Raiders. This is all being pushed out by the Vegas side of things. Johnson's camp has been completely silent on it. Adam Schefter says as much. So there's that. But trading for Tomlin would wouldn't only take draft capital, but it also takes serious cash. Mike Tomlin just signed a contract extension for 3 years, paying him $16 million a year. And I want to go to this chart here. This kind of illustrates some of this. Mike Tomlin is the third highest paid coach in the league. The Bears just signaled that they're willing to pay up for the right guy. And reports are that Ben Johnson is looking for Sean McVay money. The Raiders, I think they're willing to go there, and they're rumored to already have made the unofficial offer. So you know what? So is Chicago. Final barrier removed. We've got Andy Reid leading the way at $20 million per year, Sean Payton at $18 million. Tomlin slots right in at 16 along with Jim Harbaugh. McVay is at 15, and that's followed by Shanahan, and the list goes on and on. So I think this is a deliberate move. It was a move that was purposely leaked to the media by the Bears. The story is that the Bears and quote-unquote other teams made a call to the Steelers about Mike Tomlin. I don't think it's a coincidence that the other teams are not mentioned. I think this is a purposeful leak by the Chicago Bears to try to send a message to all the agents in the NFL, but most definitely to Ben Johnson's agent. And Chicago's probe was summarily turned away. The discussions never even reached Tomlin's desk. Even if they did, the general assumption was already that Tomlin would have offered a similar response no matter what. And he said as much when he was asked about teams looking into his availability after Pittsburgh's another wild card first round loss to the Ravens. Save your time. That's all that Tomlin said, talking to other teams via comment to reporters. But the Bears still made the phone call, not only to do the due diligence, but to also send a message once again to a coach being courted by a Raiders franchise that can offer what Chicago does. I don't care what they're saying. GM Ryan Poles is sending a message to fans and to Ben Johnson. We will pay you what you want. And simple fact, Ben Johnson wants to not only have the right fit, but he also wants to get paid accordingly. And you can't blame him. He's in high demand, a unique situation that he can name his price, right? Kevin Warren indicated a shift in the way they do business at Hallis Hall moving forward previously in the year. This signals it wasn't just lip service. So let's look at the situation. What do the Las Vegas Raiders have that the Bears don't? The division, I'd say, is just as competitive. You've got the two-time defending champion Chiefs, two playoff teams in the Chargers and the Broncos. You look at the NFC North, possibly Super Bowl bound Detroit Lions, and yes, two playoff teams in the Packers and the Vikings. They mirror up really well. And then you look at the coaching. I might give the leg up to the NFC North, but it's Definitely a conversation. You've got Andy Reid, Sean Payton to be determined on the Raiders. And this is versus LaFleur, O'Connell, and Campbell. I mean, you're not switching to the AFC West for a cakewalk. And the Bears have a markedly better roster. A franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams. And now you've had the Raiders dealing with a complete mess on the roster, plus no quarterback in a situation without a way to get one. They don't pick until the 13th pick. And even if they had a higher pick, I mean, this is a really poor quarterback class. You're looking at the only possible leg up. And don't say it's the cheater Tom Brady. It's the possibility of turning this into a money grab. And it's rumored that they've been aggressive. They want to offer just so much money that he can't say no. But you know what? The Bears just called their bluff. They showed they're willing to pony up. And as Bears fans, we can say, believe it when I see it, right? Tons of reasons to have that attitude. But if you look at it objectively, the Bears have showed that they're willing to spend in recent years. I mean, we can go way back. They made Khalil Mack the highest paid defensive player in history. That felt like a significant shift. That was back in, oh my goodness, I think that was 2018. Sweat was brought in during the season, signed with a generous, really big deal. Jalen Johnson, he got his bag. The Bears have been showing their homegrown players that if you ball out, we're going to pay you. And even off the field, the Bears just paid $197 million for the Arlington Heights property, and that's without even the assurance that the next stadium is going to be built there. So what I'm saying is they've been historically cheap, but you're starting to see signs that they're willing to spend money in the right situation. The wallet has been opened often in recent years, but it's never been for a coach, and I fully get it. But one thing Chicago sports fans are frustrated with, I'm one of them. Our favorite teams pitching pennies and operating as if our squads aren't in a major metropolitan market, that we're not among the most valuable sports teams in the world. At this point, the only way to shift this narrative is with action. Words can only go so far after what we've been through as Bears fans. Going back to Mike Ditka, ownership throws nickels like manhole covers. It's like the Bears have now sent a message. And with one simple phone call, I think they leveled the playing field with the Las Vegas Raiders. So to kind of give you a recent timeline of what's happening, the Bears just completed their interview of Brian Flores. The Bears tried to trade for Mike Tomlin. We just talked about that. Joe Brady. He also just had his interview with the Bears today, and Todd Monken's Bears interview is done. So they're still moving on potential candidates, but I still think this is a two-man race. I think we're looking at Ben Johnson. If it's a younger, more hotter name, more inexperienced name, I think he's the top choice. And then if he's not available, we go with Mike McCarthy. I think everything else is just job interviews, looking for information. I just did a story yesterday on how valuable that information can actually be and how it can mean an actionable step for your franchise right now. Check out that story from yesterday. I think it's really helpful to see, kind of get a good view of what this coaching search is really turning out to be. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think. Was this really a signal? I think it was, because they knew that Mike Tomlin wasn't going to take the job. I think this shows that the Bears are willing to pony up and pay the bag to Ben Johnson if that's what he's demanding. So I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the games today, and I'll see you soon. Bear down.